You're listening to Podketeers.
Welcome to episode 391 of Podketeers. This week we talk about what gifts we've purchased for ourselves this holiday season. Then we talk about some of our favorite holiday films. It's always fun to compare notes on what films we like, plus we decided not to limit our choices to only films under the Disney umbrella, so some of our selections might surprise you. Remember that you can join the conversation and discuss these choices over on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Just search for Podketeers. But we'd like to invite you to join our growing community on Discord. You can find an invite to join in the blog post for this episode over at podketeers.com/391. Now we're about to get this thing started, but before we do, we'd like to take a moment to thank a very special group of people known as the FGP Squad, our podcast Fairy Godparents, because it's their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. As part of the FGP Squad family, you get some additional perks like exclusive discount codes for Podketeers gear, additional content like the Podketeers After Show, and access to monthly happy hour calls, just to name a few. For more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to check out podketeers.com/FGP. And as always, a super special thank you goes out to the FGP Squad for their continued support. So it's time to do the podcast thing. We appreciate all of you hanging out with us. And if you're new to the podcast, we hope that you enjoy yourself and hang out with us again. Let's get the show started. Here is episode 391 of Podketeers. Everybody have their Christmas shopping done?
Mostly.
Kinda.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty close. I got some Secret Santa to buy for still, and some last-minute mother-in-law gifts and stuff. But it's mostly there.
Yeah, no stress. No stress. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, being able to shop online always makes it easy, I guess.
Store
Yeah.
pickup.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I had my order of I ordered a well, she might listen to the show. I ordered a thing. I ordered a thing for my mom, and the thing got delayed. Hi, Mom, if you're
Aw.
listening. And I ordered a thing for my mom, and it was from Amazon, and it got lost or whatever. So they were like, okay, we'll send another one. And then that one was like 5 days late, and so I still chat, and they're like, okay, we'll send another one. Okay, send another one. Okay, one shows up, and then I get a delivery notification saying you have a package showing up, and there's a package showed up, and it was another one of the thing, and then a couple days later, I see in my Amazon thing, there's 3 more of these things in my Amazon thing. I was like, oh, that just must be a glitch or whatever. And then I get a UPS notification today, 3 packages have been delivered. And so I now have 5 of this thing I ordered for my mom.
What?
So, and it's not like something that she can just use 5 of. It's something Anyway, so now I have 5 of these things, and I don't even know if they originally charged me for the first one because it was late. So I don't know what happened, but so I got 5 things in the mail.
Dude. So I know I told you, I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but a similar situation happened to me when I purchased a gimbal from Amazon, because I was trying to make sure that I had a gimbal that held up my phone, because the last one that I had, my phone was too heavy. And so I needed something a little stronger, and I ordered it, but it was a lightning deal. And it was like close to $50 less when I bought it through the lightning deal. And it was supposed to show up in a couple of days, Amazon Prime, and it didn't show up a week later. I sent an email and I said, hey, where's the gimbal? And they said, oh, well, we can give you a refund and you could just buy a new one. I said, that's unacceptable because it's $50 more than when I purchased it. It was part of a lightning deal. They said, okay, no problem. We'll just go ahead and we'll ship you a brand new one. And I thought, okay, cool. The first one still shows lost. The second one, I get a shipping confirmation. And I get the second one on the day that I was supposed to get it. And the very next day, I got the first one that I ordered as well. And so by now, I'm thinking like, okay, well now I have these 2 gimbals, and I did pay for one of them at least. So I sent an email to Amazon. You know, I let them know that I got the second one. What do they want me to do with it? And they said, well, it was already claimed as lost. Don't worry about it. Just keep it. And I said, really? And they said, yeah, don't worry about it. Just keep it. And I said, okay, thank you very much. and I kept it. And so now it's become a Christmas gift for somebody that needed it. And so now I'm thinking that's great. You know, that worked out quite nicely. I'm not going to mention who that's for because, like you, Andrew, I believe they listen to the podcast as well. And so I don't want to tip them off to what they're getting because they have no idea.
Well, and if I have 5 of these, if I want to give them out to people because a last minute Christmas gift, I don't want to ruin the surprise.
That's true.
You get a bag of kitty litter. That's not what it was, but
yeah. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Yeah. I mean, it's so cool, that you got 5 of them.
It's so bizarre. Like I just don't it's just all these boxes stacked up. Just 3 boxes on the porch. I was like, oh, this is fun.
Well, instant Christmas cheer.
Ho, ho, ho.
Larry.
No, sorry, I was reporting everything to Jeff Bezos on Amazon about your guys' misdemeanors
Oh,
and
appreciate
crimes.
it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I just want to let everyone know on the record. For the record, I did not commit any of these crimes.
My name is cleared.
No. Yes, no. Get as much Jeff Bezos money as you can. I have not completed shopping quite yet, but I was gonna say I went out shopping for the first time in a long time for Christmas. I missed it obviously in 2020. We didn't do a lot of in-person shopping. In 2019, I was bah humbug kind of mood. I'll admit at that time I was burnt out. So this year we went out and did some shopping. I'm usually the worst at that because I don't like shopping too much, just from prior being dragged around as a kid. But I had a good time with, wife kind of having the vibe of going into stores. We went to this place called Dos Lagos. It's a shopping center and near the Corona area. I'd say more on the south side of that, but they had snow for the kids to play in. So that was kind of cool to watch that at the shopping center with a big old snowman. So I got the Christmas vibes like Andrew talks about when you're out there and you're feeling real good. That was cool. I liked it, but I didn't get everything done. When we went to Target, I realized dang, there's always the list where you're like, oh, I forgot that or we forgot this. So we're chipping away, but it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've gone out to pick stuff up, like Mel said, doing, store pickup, just driving up and they have all your stuff ready to go. I feel like I'm kind of spoiled. Even past the pandemic, I feel like that's how I want to do most of my shopping, especially at Target. Because whenever I go to Target, I'm like, I'm just going in for this $10 mouthwash and toothpaste and whatever combo. $400 later, I'm like, what happened?
That dollar
Right?
section gets you, man.
Dude.
Seriously. And then
It was right by the bathrooms. Dang it.
and if they
Right
have
when you
other
walk
little
in.
deals or sales, ooh. You're gonna be
Uh-huh.
like, oh, I need one of this, I need one of this in color.
Yeah, buy 3 get a $10 gift card. How can you
Oh.
pass that up?
Right?
Don't even get me started on that one because the cartwheel app is all over it with me right now. It's like, you buy 5 of these and we'll give you a $5 gift card, and buy $50 worth and we'll give you a $20 gift card. I'm like, okay, well, how do I do this? What do I need? Hey, Mom, do you need any of these? Because I think I need to buy 5 of them.
I need 5 cat litters.
Right?
It's like, I don't have a
Yeah.
cat, but I need 5 of those.
Luckily, most of the time, it's stuff that doesn't go bad. It's laundry soap and stuff.
point.
So it's okay, I guess I can stock up on it.
You know what, though? If you've ever seen any of those videos on extreme couponing,
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
people make out like bandits doing that stuff. They occasionally come up when I'm browsing through TikTok, and these ladies will be like, hey, look, I got this great deal for you today. If you go to Target, they got this in the cartwheel app, and then you got this manufacturer's coupon, and look at this $75 purchase is now down to boop, 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 27 cents. That's right. I'm like, what? What is that? How is that even legal?
It's the devil's work.
Isn't it?
Well, and yeah, I've
Black
seen
Widow-
some of those.
Black
Yeah.
Voodoo.
those couponing shows and stuff. They like had those extreme couponing shows and stuff. You've noticed like a lot of them are. Well, I don't think any of them are in California, because I don't think
No.
that California does the double couponing. I think is how they get these all these things to go. You can double down on coupons and all this stuff you can't do in California. So, but yeah, I'd like to pay 27 cents for a $75 thing.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Especially going to CBS. Like, if you go to CBS, you get a receipt from there that's at least a quarter mile long. And that quarter mile has at least 2,000 coupons. And they only carry like 500 items in the store.
I went to CVS and I bought one thing as a Christmas present for my wife. One thing, it was like $14 or whatever. I swear to you, the receipt was taller than me.
Yeah.
It was late at night and I walked out of the store. I was just holding the receipt behind me, flailing like a fan, like a flag behind me. Cause
Wrap her gift in the receipt.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Here's
go.
all the coupons.
Double purpose.
It's only like, it's not very big, so I could wrap
there
it
we
in
go.
the
Perfect.
receipt.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's piled. The receipt is in a pile in my back seat right now. The pile contains one receipt. That's the entire pile.
That's funny.
That's good.
So as you do your Christmas shopping, have you bought anything for yourself this holiday season?
Oh God.
Anybody want to answer before me? Because I buy a lot of
Yes.
stuff all the time. Like,
That's kind of how
Oh,
I
I sure
am.
did.
yeah, I see. I buy Christmas decorations. I love to decorate for Christmas. So yeah, I bought. I don't know how many different Christmas decorations this year. That's what I buy myself at Christmas time. My whole theme is dogs. So we got dogs everywhere. I
Aw.
decorate my house, our house, and then my mom's house. And my mom's house is where I started decorating Christmas. So over there's on the outside, I have 18 dogs on the outside. And yeah, well, I'll have to post something on the Podketeers Instagram or something, or a story about my Christmas light adventures. I don't know, but yeah, that's what I buy myself: Christmas lights.
Yeah, you would think Christmas things are good to buy yourself for Christmas, but yeah, I bought a whole bunch of other stuff that's not Christmas related.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's everybody else buys. I buy Christmas lights because but I bought a lot of them in October because that's when
when
they
it's
go on
smart.
sale. That's
Yeah.
when they come
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Mel, what'd you get yourself?
I got myself a vinyl record player, and it's
Oh,
this
nice.
thing
Oh,
that
a
you
record
see.
player.
Yes, only because I had one previously, but it just stopped working, and that was on eBay at the time, and that was about used 70 maybe. So this time I found a brand new one for $39.
Was it like one of those Black Friday deal things?
Yes, and I was like,
Nice.
mine. I was like, mine. I just, yes, she's
They're
pretty.
coming back into style. I bought my sister. She doesn't listen to this. I bought her. She put a record on her Christmas list, and so she has a record player. I bought her an LP.
Nice.
Will your mom tell her, though?
Well, I already told my mom that I bought it, so it was
Okay.
on her. I was like, just so you know, I bought her this, so don't
Nice.
buy it.
Nice.
That's so cool. I forgot when the last time we had a record player was, but I feel like at some point I need to get one because I have like 12 or 13 like Disney vinyls, like different albums and compilations, and I haven't been able to listen to any of them. Like, granted, I have all of them digital, like MP3s, and I have CDs for most of them as well, but vinyl sounds so pretty.
There's a different sound to it.
It's so pretty. Plus, I'm gonna get Taylor Swift's new album in vinyl, so I mean, why wouldn't I get one?
Right, and the coolest part is that majority of them have Bluetooth, so you could actually listen to things through there. Like I did the other day. I was like, I'm going to put the indie, the outdoor cue, and just listen to it. And that's all I heard. I'm like, I closed my eyes. I'm in Adventureland. This is good.
That's awesome.
You have that on record, the indie outdoor cue?
Nope.
Oh,
You just look it
okay.
up on YouTube.
Oh, I see what you're
Boom.
saying. I see. Aha.
Nice.
I was like,
Larry,
that's a
what about
record
you?
to have.
Right.
No, it was the Bath and Body Works run, and I like oil diffusers, and I've always been told people like, "Oh, you gotta get them from Bath and Body," but I've always been the cheapskate, and like, "Nah, I'm gonna get these at Target because they're always 3 for $5, and you get $5 back." Just kidding. Something from Target. So this time I was there, and they had a little bit of a sale, and I'm glad I did because I tried I grabbed the candle smell versions of them, and I thought I'd found one I really wanted for like Christmas, and I'm gonna go on a record with this one. Cinnamon caramel swirl smells very similar to the Haunted Mansion's gingerbread smell.
I will vouch for you, my friend.
Ooh.
We have that scent, and I will absolutely 120% vouch for that.
Loving it right now. Absolutely loving it. Smells like Christmas, and every time I walk in, I'm like, just a little bit of that happiness. And the reason why Melissa broke her record is because she was scratching it like it was 1999. She was DJing it.
I went crazy.
We're a fan of those wallflower things that they have for the wall, like the little glass things. So every time they have that on sale, I get them. And then I'm a big fan of these aromatherapy things that they have, Energy, and the Calm one, which I think they discontinued. It was I remember last year, it was called Stress Relief. It was in a light blue bottle. It was sage and cedarwood. And they told me, oh, yeah, that one's being discontinued. And I bought like 14 bottles of it because it was one of my favorite scents that they had. And I think I'm down to maybe like 2 or 3 of them.
So, yeah, we have Tina likes it's the Calm, but it was the original scent, which I think they then brought the cedar scent, and then they discontinued it and brought the old scent back, which she liked because it was
what they brought back?
lavender vanilla or something like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so I buy it on Amazon because it's the same price.
I didn't even know they had them on Amazon. I could get them via Prime?
Back to Amazon.
I just learned something. All right.
At least the ones, 3-pack. I've been buying them on Amazon. But Bath and Body Works is another one where they're like, okay, buy one of these things, it's $400, but if you buy 9 of them, they're 4 cents a piece.
Yep.
And you better buy those 9 because if you buy 8, it's $400 a piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Man, I just learned something. This is dangerous. And now on the Bath and Body Works podcast, we'll talk about aromatherapy. Sweet.
It's a great Christmas gift.
Is this going to be the Browse the Amazon web podcast like it was Browse Target or whatever we did the other day?
Now we go to Amazon.
Oh, Hot Topic. That's what
Right?
What is this one? It's called Restore. Sage Mint. I don't like minty stuff. Anyway, yeah, the Energy one. It's like an orangey, gingery smell, and then that other one, I haven't been able to find a good replacement for it. But anyway, yeah, totally with you on that gingerbread smell, dude. I totally dig it. They also had another one that they discontinued that was like $2 when they had the last sale. It smells like boardwalk popcorn. And I swear to you, dude, it's like walking through Main Street and like smelling. I don't know, man. I'm all over it. I love it. I love it.
They got me.
Well, yeah, I spoiled myself with, I'll give you one guess.
Makeup.
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yes! Who's that
different
company you guys
yeah.
buy from all the time?
Mac.
Huh?
No.
Right?
No.
It's not Mac?
No, it's
No.
Artist something.
Lula,
Artist Couture or something.
Oh, yeah. That's one of them.
Flulaborg.
Yeah. No, I spoiled myself, obviously, with more playing cards. Black Friday hit, and a lot of the vendors that I tend to buy playing cards from had a pretty decent sale where a lot of them were like 25% off. And Theory 11, one of the companies I buy a lot of them from, released their new Harry Potter decks, and they had a new Beatles set of cards as well. So I had to buy them. But, like some potato chips claim to be, I couldn't just stay with one. I always tend to buy a couple of each deck because I always keep 1 or 2 sealed, and then I open 1 or 2 and I play with those. And of course, because they're Harry Potter, I ended up having to buy like 7 of the Ravenclaw decks because, Ravenclaw is my house. Like, why wouldn't I buy that
I
many?
was lucky. 7. Like
I did end up buying the different houses to give as stocking stuffers to family members that I know have, whose house they are. So I purchased enough to give to them, and then I kept a whole bunch for me because, card
Why not?
collector, card collector. So yeah, that was one of the things I definitely spoiled myself with. I was hoping to get a couple of other things, but they're no longer on sale, and so now I'm just thinking like, I'm just gonna have to wait till next year, next Cyber Monday, or put that on my birthday list and be like, hey, my birthday's coming up. It's almost here. And who knows, maybe the birthday Santa will bring it. Who knows?
I'll get
Birthday
you some
Santa.
chicken nuggets.
Yes!
I mean, cards.
But if we're going for chicken nuggets, I want the little plastic ones that were dressed as cowboys.
Oh yeah.
The Beatles cards, are they like themed to albums, or are they just themed to an individual Beatle?
question.
Like, is it just like the Ringo deck that nobody wants, and then they got the Paul, John? Like,
No,
Oh.
that's a good question. No, when they design them, they're all themed to the colors of the Sgt. Pepper's album.
oh, okay.
So they're really vibrant. Each one of the decks does represent one of the Beatles according to the color that they wore on the album. I felt
Ooh.
like I wanted to, and only because it's my favorite color, not because I'm choosing a favorite Beatle, but I like blue over the other colors, and so I thought to myself, I'm going to buy 2 of the blue ones and 1 of the other ones just so that I can collect them. And when my order came, I was like, what the hell? I thought I bought 2 of the blue ones. Nope, just 1. Now I have to wait until I can buy a second one to open it because, I mean, if they never make them again, they probably will. But if they never do, I want to have them all sealed so that when I sell them on eBay like everyone else does, they'll be worth $80 or $90.
This is your retirement plan.
That's right.
Yeah.
These playing cards.
That's right.
This is a nest egg for your retirement.
That's
Uh,
right.
yep.
So you can buy your Golden Oak mansion with it.
Eventually.
And you're all invited.
Nice.
Yeah.
You'll all have a wing in the mansion. All right. Well, since we're talking about the holidays, we figured it would be a fun conversation that we touched on a little bit, maybe an episode or 2 ago, and when we were talking about holiday movies. You know, what we like to watch for the holidays, films, the cartoons, or whatever we like to watch. So we each wanted to share 5 of our favorite holiday films or programs that we like to watch. Now, some of you may remember that we have done something very similar in the past. And when we were talking about it, we figured that our tastes have changed. Obviously, we're different people. Some of these programs or films hit a little bit differently than they used to, and maybe, you know, it's like your taste palette, right? Like they say that every 7 years your taste palette changes and you like certain things more than others. It's kind of the same thing with movies, kind of the same thing with programming, and with so much content for us to watch on Disney Plus and on Hulu and on Netflix and Amazon and HBO and Paramount and Peacock, and you name it. Like, they're all out there. Hashtag not sponsored, but if any of you want to sponsor us, we're totally open for it. There's so much content to watch that we figured, let's share 5. I think that's a good number to start off with. I'm sure that a lot of us were able to come up with way more than 5. But for starting, you know, for starters, I think we're going to go with 5 apiece. And we'll start off with our number 5 choice, which is going to be the least one. And that, you know, it's probably not the least that we'd ever want to watch, but it's probably the least we want to share for this particular list. Does that
The
make
least
sense?
of the favorites. It's still a favorite, but it's the least of the favorites.
Right.
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 It's still a good film. That's how I
Right.
see it anyway.
So, with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started. But before we do, I want to remind you that this episode of Podketeers is brought to you by a fantastic group of listeners known as the FGP Squad, our podcast Fairy Godparents, because it's their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. If you want more info on how you can become part of the FGP Squad, you can head on over to podketeers.com/FGP. On that page, you'll find a list of some of our top contributors, a link to our Patreon, and some information about the FGP Squad in general. But, of course, you can always hit us up on Instagram, Facebook. You can send us a DM. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. And being a part of the FGP Squad family does get you some additional perks like access to our monthly happy hour calls, additional content like the Podketeers after show, and other things that we've posted on Patreon. It gets you discounts for new Podketeers gear, and it gives you first access to some of the new products that we put out, and a lot more. So if you have any questions, again, please feel free to send us a message. And of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support. And by the way, all of the FGP gifts for the holiday season have officially been mailed. I did have a little bit of a lull there where I couldn't finish because I was waiting for supplies to show up because Amazon Prime was late again, by the way, speaking of that. But they are officially all in the mail. Hopefully everybody gets them soon. I did ship one to myself to see how it would how it would hold up. And I did notice that some of you may receive the package without a sticker that says "Do not fold" fragile. Because I noticed that when I mailed mine, if it got folded, it did damage what was inside. So I did put a sticker on there that said fragile, do not bend. I'm hoping they pay attention during the shipping process. And yeah, we hope you enjoy it. We thought it was a fun little gift that hopefully helps you see that no matter how far apart you are, we're always pretty close together. So, yeah.
That's
Nice.
deep, man.
Yeah.
Aw.
We hope you enjoy it. So, let's go on with our movie talk for today. Who wants to kick us off with their number 5 choice?
I'll rip off the Band-Aid.
All right.
Perfect.
Die Hard, number 5.
Yeah.
Oh no, you did it. Here we go.
Larry, do you really have a problem saying that Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie?
It is not.
But
a
it is,
Christmas
though.
movie.
Is there a Christmas tree in it?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the problem?
I don't feel the warm fuzzies when, McClane is blowing up everything in his path. I just don't get I mean, there's a difference between Macaulay Culkin doing it. There's a purpose.
Because he's a little stinker, and so if Bruce Willis was more of a little stinker, it would be fine. But
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Christmas
I mean, Carl
kabooms.
Winslow's good in it.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's good in it.
You don't want a
very
little
good in it.
Alan Rickman at Christmas?
Oh, I was speaking of going somewhere, Mr. Potter.
So nice.
Hey, that was much better than last time. You're getting good, dude.
I worked it out.
Nice. I like it. Well, I agree with you, Mel. It's totally a Christmas movie.
It is. It's been a staple for us. So
It's like, yeah, do you see
Hey.
that meme where it says, "This is my Christmas ornament," and it's him in the,
Yeah.
air duct?
That's
funny.
awesome. All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. My number 5 is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Muppet Family Christmas.
Oh,
I
That's
don't
a
know if you've
nice
seen the
one.
Muppet Family Christmas. It's got the Sesame Street characters and all kinds. It's a fun film. I really like it.
good choice.
Fozzie's mom is in there. I like Fozzie's
Ooh.
mom.
Now, that one does give you the warm and fuzzies, but there's nothing blowing up, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you take the good, you take the bad, something,
You take
something.
both.
That's the facts of life. That's what
Wow.
oh boy.
Nice. I didn't know this was going to turn into the Facts of Life podcast. So.
Yeah.
Girls!
I just watched that live in front of the studio audience or whatever it's called. That's pretty good. So that was a good show. That-
Nice.
On ABC. It relates to
It's
the
been on my
podcast.
list.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
yeah,
watched it. Yeah.
I'd check out all 3 of them. They were all pretty good. From the last 3 years or however long they did
Oh,
it.
right on. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm going to
so
definitely
anyway.
check that out.
Muppet Family Christmas is my number 5.
All right, Larry.
Tyler Perry's Amadeus Christmas. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. If you like that movie, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I can't
But
say I
that movie-
haven't seen it.
It's like the other Amadeus movies if you've watched. No, I like this one, but a lot of people don't like it. I think it's actually been listed on like one of the top worst Christmas movies. Is a Four Christmases. That's with, if you haven't seen it, Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn.
That's funny.
It's funny. I think a lot of people don't like the realism of it because it's about 4 different families. These Christmases. This is families have been divorced from parents, and then you have like these dynamics. I think if you watch that one, now here's the thing: there isn't that much Christmas music or stuff blowing up as we talked about, but there is a lot of fighting and there is a lot of like gushy feelings in it that they do put out there. I like it because I don't know, something about watching Vince Vaughn almost vomiting because the baby threw up on him. I can't get that out of my mind. That's like one of my favorite scenes ever. I don't know if you've ever watched it.
Really puts you in the Christmas mood.
It sure does.
Yeah.
No, it sure does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, when I was thinking about like how to structure my list, I was thinking about like, well, what mood do I feel like I'm gonna be in this Christmas, right? Because you said it earlier, Larry. Like the last year or so, or especially the year before, when there was so many changes in our family that I felt like I just didn't want to celebrate. Like everything just like felt sad, and I was like, I mean, we celebrated, but it didn't feel like it, right? So. Last year I felt was a little different, like we did the tree, we did the Christmas gifts and stuff like that, but it still didn't feel right, and this year I feel like it's finally starting to feel like Christmas. And I didn't know if I wanted to go like funny or if I wanted to go like warm and fuzzies. And the thing is that I know people hate them, but I'm a sucker for like Hallmark Christmas movies. Like I am such a stan for them. Like I can't even begin to tell you, like my wife and I will sit down and watch them and they could be the worst freaking Christmas movie you've ever seen. But like that was the best. The baker girl and the prince fell in love and now she's a princess. And it's like all over. Like Netflix has them, like the one with Vanessa Hudgens. So I don't know like what direction I wanted to take. And my original one was going to be Office Christmas Party if I went funny. But I decided not to. I want to go warm and fuzzy this time. Okay? So going, and I feel kind of bad making it my number 5. And I know some people don't like it, but you know what? I enjoyed it. I don't even care what you say. I'm going to go with Noelle on Disney+. I really enjoyed that film. I like the idea of her becoming Santa Claus, and I like the journey that they take together. And I don't know, like overall, it was just kind of a fun movie. So I'm going to go with Noelle as my number 5 for this list.
It's not bad. It's a cute film.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it all the way
need to
through. I caught the end of it when Tina was watching it, but I was telling her, I was like, I got to come up with this movie, and she's like, oh, what about this one? What about Noelle? And I was like, oh yeah, that's one with like Bill Hader, right? And I was like, I didn't see the whole thing, but it looked funny. I saw like the last 10 minutes.
Nice.
That's all you need. You get the gist. I'm just kidding.
All right, Mel.
Oh, all right. I don't know if this is going to be controversial, but I use this film for both holidays. Nightmare Before Christmas.
When two holidays collide.
Exactly.
I think Heyzen thought that was going to be your number 1.
I did think that was going to be your number 1.
No.
Yeah.
And you mentioned mood, and you'll see why. So
I mean,
stay tuned.
it has Christmas in the title, so it's definitely a Christmas movie. If it says Christmas,
But there's no explosions.
There
Yeah.
is
Yes,
an
there is.
explosion.
Oh, there
They
is.
blow
Yes,
Jack
yes.
out of the
That's
sky.
true. You're right. All right.
He
got it
likes
all.
stuff blowing up.
I sure do.
It's got hijinks. It's got explosions. It's got a little stinker. It's got, it's got everything.
All the ingredients you need for a Christmas holiday classic.
I'm going to see how many times I can say
Exactly. And
little
dead
stinker in this episode.
And dead stuff.
Nice choice. I really did think that was going to be your number 1.
Ah.
Right on. Way to surprise us. All right, Andrew.
Oh, that's me. Okay. Right out with the basic The Santa Claus, my number 4.
Oh,
Tim
yep.
Allen's
Yep.
The Santa Claus.
Good one.
Yep.
You can't.
Good one.
You can't. It's in my opinion, like the definitive like Santa movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people think it. But it's so good and it's basic, but I really like it.
Right on, man.
I like when they go to the Denny's and he wants chocolate milk and he's like, no, we're at plain milk's fine. Like, it's just like, that's my number 4.
I
The Santa
like it.
Claus.
I
I love it. I love it.
All right, Larry.
So number 4 for me is kind of, I like the story in Christmas, and this is kind of like when you talk about the eerily dark part of it, but also it's great because it's the Muppets. It's the Muppets Christmas Carol. Now, I watched that when I was a kid, and when it came to Disney Plus, I was so excited to watch it with my wife because she had never watched that adaptation of it. And it's like, for me, that was like what I thought was one of the darker Muppets stories, because you have to follow the Christmas Carol story of Ebenezer Scrooge. I just love it. I love I don't know, I just like how they play it out, and I like how Kermit's the main character. I like how they give them a little bit more of that Jim Henson feel, where he was not always just about like making fun of themselves, but actually telling like a story about the Muppets are like the underdog, but still you're playing the story of the Christmas Carol. And there's some pretty good like set design in that, as well as like giving the playing the Muppets into who they're supposed to be, like each of the story, the Ghost of Christmas. So that's my number for sure. My number 4, yeah.
Should I, if that's on my list, should I say it now or should I wait till where it belongs?
No, wait till where it belongs.
No, wait.
Okay.
for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think
Okay.
we're all going to run into that. I think
Also
just
on my
knowing where
list.
we each fall with that particular film, I think is going to be interesting. So yeah, let's just
yeah.
wait to hear it.
Also on my list. It's a great movie.
Right on, man. I almost had it in my top 5. It's definitely in my top 10, but didn't make my top 5. My number 4 pick is one that I love it. I don't know. I just really love the animation. I love how it was put together. Tom Hanks is dope, yo. The Polar Express. And I just really love trains as well. And, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, you got all the elements right there.
Yeah.
So, you know,
yeah.
So yeah, Polar Express is my number 4.
Do you happen to listen to Blank Check? The podcast
Yes.
Blank Check? Have you listened to the Polar Express episode?
Not
of
that
Blank Check?
episode. No, not
Okay, you should listen to it. They have some opinions.
yet. Do they?
Oh, yes.
Well,
It's
Look, I get it. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't think it's a perfect film because, you know, the animation can get pretty weird. Like, there are
Oh,
some
yeah.
places where it look like that uncanny valley hits, and it's kind of like, what am I watching right now, right? But the
It's-
overall
yeah.
message of it's a cute film.
yeah. No, it's I mean, it's the first time that style of animation was ever done.
Yeah.
On that scale. So it's, it's impressive in that, right? But
Yeah.
if you get a second, listen to that. It's very funny. The
Quick question.
Blank Check.
When you watched it the first time, did you immediately feel this is going to be a top Christmas classic? Because I know you said it's morphed over time, or was this like a slow burn where you're like little by little you kept watching, you're like, okay, yeah, I do find myself coming back to this movie each Christmas time?
No, it was a slow burn. Honestly, this film probably wouldn't have even been on my top 10 last year. But I think in this last year, I've been going back and I've been watching some of these films and stuff that I watched like 10, 15 years ago that I knew that I enjoyed them initially. And Andrew makes great points, and I'm sure that when I listen to that episode, they're going to make a lot of great points too,
I
because
might ruin it for you.
No. I mean, it might push it down to like 14 after listening to that. Who knows, right? But the thing is that, like you said, there were so many firsts, and I love when like innovation and technology begin to boost a film and allow other films to create better stuff from that. Right? Like every time that we've seen a new Toy Story, like they push the envelope, or every Pixar film, like not even Toy Story, like every single Pixar film pushes the envelope and brings us something new. The Polar Express did the same thing. And yeah, it looks weird at times, but dude, so does Beauty and the Beast. And Beauty and the Beast, the animated feature, is like my favorite freaking animated princess movie. You know, and that one had all sorts of awkward animation aspects to it.
Well, yeah, exactly what you're saying is what they go over it in Blank Check, but that's what Robert Zemeckis, his thing was, well, I'm figuring this out now so other people have the tools to use them in the future. So I might make a movie that looks weird now, but hey, now everybody can use this mocap stuff, and it's used in everything now.
Yeah, and I love when people do that. So I think that's why it made it higher up in my list this year. But like if we did this list last year, it wouldn't have even cracked the top 10.
Heyzen's last year list just has that movie where it's that wrestler guy that's Santa, and then he's killing all those people.
Which one are we talking about? Because I know. Look, The Miz is in a Christmas movie this year, right? Don't even.
No, it's
Oh,
like a
no.
movie from the 90s or something. It's called Santa's Sleigh, and
Santa's sleigh.
Like a Slayer?
wrestler Bill Goldberg
Oh God,
Whoa.
no.
Santa, and
What?
he
No.
kills a bunch of people.
Ah, you said Bill Goldberg. Just stop already. Just
I
move
don't know
on.
who he is, but I
Yeah.
saw it on the internet.
No.
Wow.
So don't watch this movie.
I
It's
would
actually from
much rather watch a
2005.
movie with The Miz than something with Bill Goldberg.
Can the Miz just change his name to Mazowski? Because that's how I say it in my like Wazowski, but that's how I say it in my head every time.
I mean, it wouldn't be too far off. His last name
Yeah.
is Mizanin.
Yeah, just Mazowski. That's better.
Mizowski.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. That's how I say it in my head every time. Mazowski.
That's funny.
But anyway,
Yeah.
not Santa Sleigh with Bill.
No.
Fighting for top 5 worst
No,
immediately off the bat.
Look, you want to know how I feel about that one? Just remember how Larry was like, oh no, it's Mariah again, like for Christmas music. That's me with like that.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
So now you have an idea. All right. Anyway, moving on to our
Back
number
to-
3.
Number 3.
Number 3. This one I went nostalgic, and this is going to be a tie because they're just equally as good for me this year. So, 1983, Mickey's Christmas Carol, and a Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh yes.
I'm like, I can't separate the two because they're just so good, and you guys will figure out why, because 2 and 1 are already taken. I can't put them any lower. They're just in the middle.
Yeah.
Just there.
Time is here.
Exactly.
See, that's the thing. Andrew makes that joke, and I always use that.
It's the saddest music I know of is that Christmas time song. Like, what?
Yeah, but
Here's my argument, though. There's some of the songs in there, like the doo-doo-doo,
Skating.
the
No, there's a
jazz.
lot of good music.
There
in it.
is.
It's like,
Yeah, it just, I don't know. It does incorporate the holiday. It is.
It
Yeah,
does.
It's
There's a
like, yes, the brings me to a level of like, wow, I'm thinking and reconciling what
This
Christmas
is
is really
heavy.
about. But the other part is that jazz, the do-do-do-do-do-do. You'll hear that like easy piano beat, and it's like, it'll come up on the Christmas Spotify playlist for me for just like that. I've put in the backlist with, hearing Mariah for the 50th time know what she wants for Christmas. That's my problem with Mariah.
But she
We
wants
know already.
you.
We get it. Oh, God.
she says she
That's
wants
my problem.
you.
I don't want her.
I'm
Keep it.
over what she's selling. She could take it back.
She could
If I
have
gotta hear
it.
that beat roll, that you talk about, it's a small world. That every time gets me.
Dude,
But
and it is all over TikTok right now. There's like an audio clip where people are like, "Oh no, guys, don't make me!" Like everybody's just doing the same move on TikTok right now.
save me time. But yes, Melissa, great pick. The music in that, music in Charlie Brown, and also the close contender. Those are iconic. The Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
I just love
Goofy is
Christmas Carol in
Marley,
general.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Scrooge
picks.
McDuck.
Great picks.
Yeah. Oh, also, Heyzen, I found another one for your bad, your low, Hulk Hogan in Santa with Muscles.
I'm sorry. what?
Wow.
themes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hulk
I'll go
Hogan,
with- nah, I'm good.
Santa with muscles.
Nah, I'm good.
Putting Christmas spirit in the chokehold.
You know something, brother.
Anyway,
Hulkamania.
Yeah, that guy. I don't know. Regardless of how you felt about him as a wrestler, there are some things that come out of that dude's mouth that I'm like, I can't respect you as a human being at all. So
Yeah.
no thanks.
this is a really weird tangent, But since we brought you've seen that video of Macho Man Randy Savage, and he keeps saying the cream of the crop, and he pulls out the little coffee creamers.
No.
And he keeps doing
What?
that. I will send you this video. It's like the funniest video. He keeps saying, "I am the cream of the crop," and he pulls out like a little coffee creamer, and then like they take it away. And then he keeps pulling them out. He has like a bunch of little coffee creamers.
That's funny.
Saying he's the cream of the crop. I'll send you this video. But anyway, it's my turn to say
It
my
is.
number
Number
three.
three.
My number three, another basic, the Jim Carrey Grinch.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Jim Carrey Grinch. Sassy, sarcastic Grinch. It's great.
Is it Jim Carrey or is it just the overall how they told that version?
I think it's probably the Jim Carrey performance and the I mean, Ron Howard, he directed it, and it's a great movie, and it's I have nothing to wear, I'm not going, and I can't cancel on myself again. It's very quotable, I guess. A lot of that is, I think, just remembering quotes is a good.
I think it's one of Jim Carrey's better performances.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it. That's what I was going to say. I think Jim Carrey, that's why I bring it. When he did that, he caught some flack because people were, used to his other comedy that was really pushing the limits of like adult comedy. But for him to go on this other realm, he took in that character very well. I don't know. I liked it. When it's something about, I got the full on Grinch, like when you see him in its, cartoon character through Jim Carrey. I think he did what he was supposed to do. That was what he needed to do, and he killed it. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
That's a great pick.
I know people may not like to hear this, but I would prefer to watch The Grinch over The Mask.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's some, okay.
Yeah. Like, I like The Mask.
Smoking!
Yeah, I mean, I like The Mask. I think it was a great performance, but I just think that there was so much more range in The Grinch. How he played it, the strife,
I agree.
the anger.
Yeah.
The Grinch is much better.
How
Yeah.
he felt at the end of the film. Like, there was so much more range that he was able to display as that character. Like, I think he became that character, and in The Mask, it was just an overblown comic book character the whole time.
Well, I mean, it was a comic book movie.
Well, I know,
so.
but that's what I'm saying. It's like,
But no, yeah, I agree with you, though. The Grinch, I like The Grinch. I think The Grinch and, I don't know, probably Truman Show are my favorite Jim Carrey movies.
yeah, Truman Show's like great.
Good
Wow,
one.
Truman Show, that's a deep drop.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat
But
that one.
have you guys watched The Grinch live?
No, I did not
Okay.
want to see
No.
that. I saw like a snippet when they did the Thanksgiving. They like promoted it on Thanksgiving parade or something when they originally were going to do it, and I was like, no, because it
So,
was
just don't watch it. Is the
I
recommendation.
love the Glee. Wasn't it? What's his name?
Matthew Morrison.
Matthew Morrison
Plays
was in Glee,
the
played the
Grinch.
teacher, and when he came out and did it, I was like, oh,
He's like real, like I want to put this in the most family friendly way possible, but he's really like I don't know. I don't know how to put it. I want to put it friendly.
There you
but
go. You just
it's
don't
not
have-
gonna work.
There you go.
There's no words,
No words.
to family
Yeah.
friendly words to put it as how he's acting it. The guy that plays Max, young Max and old Max, they were both good. Young Max was Boo Boo Stewart. I pulled that out
Oh,
of
okay.
thin
Nice.
air.
Wow.
I only know that name from Tina, and then Old Max, I forget who played Old Max, but everybody else was good. But he was just very interesting Grinch. A little too angry for my taste, but I'll tell you off mic what the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah. But anyway, the Grinch was my number 3, so it
Nice.
goes to Larry.
That's a great choice, man. Great choice.
The Grinch.
Number 3 for me, which is a 2 of the movie, and I will argue anybody to say, which we've talked about this before, Home Alone 2 is better than 1.
100%.
Home Alone 2 is my number 3. I just watched this, was this like last weekend? Because first off, the New York vibe. I know I'm a West Coast guy. I love California, but Christmas time, Times Square, the tree, all of that. Just get rid of Donald Trump in the movie, but the rest of it, there's so much. Tim Curry, I mean, Rob Schneider's in it. And then the music. I mean, you got Home Alone music already 1, but then Home Alone 2. And I will say, the characters that you meet, like in the first ones, the grandfather that's having if you haven't watched this, spoilers, folks. This has been around for, I don't know, 20 plus years. The grandfather in the first one, it's a character I like, but I really gravitate to the character in the second one with the woman that's at the time homeless, and she's like a bird taker basically of pigeons, and has this really deep story as they're telling it. I don't know the theater that they're in, but I know that's like an iconic theater in New York. I don't know what it is, but that story in itself, and Macaulay Culkin like having this wholesome vibe about like what Christmas is all about, and you cannot beat the Sticky Bandits. All those things, and you know, John Williams killed it. Always got a great score for everything.
Yep, I agree, man. You know, it's funny because whenever I watch Home Alone 2, I know it's far from where my brain should be when I watch that, but every time I watch the scene with that lady, all I think is feed the birds, Toppins, a bag.
Nice.
And like
Maybe that's why I like
every
it.
time I watch that scene, it's the first thing that pops into my head.
That's a good point.
But it pops into my head in like a really slow piano version, and like it's like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I don't know. I get
it.
you, dude.
Never
I get
thought
you.
of it. Awesome.
Then you got the toy store owner guy. He's a good character too. You know, nice old man.
Oh, that's a
yeah,
great
right?
point, Andrew.
Yeah, and,
I forgot.
Yeah, Tim Curry is the maitre d'. I don't know if he said Tim Curry.
We love you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and a Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Ah, the lovable scamp. All right.
He's a little stinker. I had said it again.
Another
Little
stinker.
Another
He's a little
stinker.
stinker.
You're right, yeah.
There
He's
you
a
go.
little stinker.
So I feel like Mel felt in this one, trying to give my number 3. So this one's a tie for me as well. However, they're all the same franchise. And the reason I want to bundle them together is because we tend to watch these all together because they're not full-length films, but when you watch them back to back, they feel like a long enough film. And that is Prep and Landing, Operation Secret Santa, and Prep and Landing, Naughty vs. Nice.
Thank you for the love.
I
for God's sakes.
love Prep and Landing. All 3 of these are really iconic to me from the moment that they were released. I remember meeting Dorothy McKim and talking to her about it at D23 right after it was released. And, I mean, it's become a staple in our family ever since they became available. Like, as soon as they were on Blu-ray, I bought them because I wanted to make sure we always had them available. They're not always on Disney Plus. Thankfully, they are there during the holiday season. But yeah, the Prep and Landing series, all available. Totally recommend them if you've never had an opportunity to watch them. Jingle bam! Awesome. Love it.
It's a good one. Definitely a good one. And oh man, it just reminds me of World of Color. Like when they start, it's a good thing. Like, yeah, people got to watch it. If you haven't seen it, it's really adorable.
Yeah.
It is.
Each one has a great message, too.
Mhm.
So.
I like the reindeers in the part one. We're coming in too hot, man. We're going to go in laughing all the way.
All the way.
All the way. The quotes, the jokes are so good. As you can tell, comedy is a big part for my Christmas movies, but the jokes are money in all those movies.
Sir, figgy pudding.
Bicky pudding.
No.
No, can't come to that.
If you haven't seen it, you'll understand it once you watch it. Trust me. It's deep. All right, Mel, kick us off with number 2.
All right. We're going to go into now. This is where our list is going to overlap. And this one's a recent, I'm going to call it a classic, whatever's. It is a recent classic, Noel.
Yes.
Such a cute film. Gosh, I fell in love with it when I saw it. I'm like, it's adorable. And Bill Hader's pretty hilarious, but it's adorable. It's Anna Kendrick. She is good in everything, practically. I'm a fan. So, Noel, number 2 spot. Yay.
Wow, this is high praise.
Yeah.
I got to watch this movie.
It's
It's
good,
adorable,
dude. It's
yeah.
good.
Oh, dang. I totally missed out. I'm like with Andrew over there. I didn't even get the 15-minute synopsis at the time. But what year did this come out? Oh, it was a Disney Plus Direct movie, right?
2 years
last
ago?
year, 2 years ago, yeah.
2
it
years
wasn't too
ago.
long.
Well, it
Okay.
came
Yeah.
out whenever Disney Plus launched. It was the same December right after it
Yeah,
launched.
so
Mhm.
yeah, 2019.
Yeah.
Took it for granted. Got a dark horse, it sounds like here, folks. I don't know about you. For me, I gotta watch it this year. Then that's on my list.
All right. Gotta
I
watch it,
guess
man.
that's me. Okay, my number 2 is a movie probably 4 other people have seen, maybe in the audience. 1970s Scrooge, starring Albert Finney. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's a Christmas Carol film with
Story.
Albert Finney. 1970. It's a musical. I saw it on TV once and like fell in love with it, and yeah, it's just I think it's like one of the better adaptations of A Christmas Carol, which I really do like A Christmas Carol story. So yeah, it's got a lot of good songs, and if you ever catch it on TV or whatever, it's a good version of it. It's got like some like a song where they're all happy that Scrooge has died, and in the Christmas future scene, where they sell the sheets and everything to the guy, and then everybody starts marching down the street and singing a song. Thank you very much. They're all happy Scrooge is dead. So yeah, it's a great movie. If you ever catch, I don't know where you can watch it. I have it on Blu-ray, so I don't know where you can watch it, but I highly recommend Scrooge, 1970.
I watched that when I had to be at least 9, but not over 12.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on the UPN network.
Uh-huh.
That's when I remember watching it.
Mine where I caught it too. It was just like on like regular TV, and I was like, it was at like 11 at night, and I'm like, oh, what's this? I like stayed up and watched the whole thing. I was like, this was really good.
That's weird. Mine was like in the afternoon.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember it was Christmas time, and I was like pretty bored just sitting around the house. But then I clicked this on because I didn't have cable, and I was like, dude, the energy, like you said, and the
Yeah.
showmanship, and I don't know, just it's the Scrooge character himself, though. Like you said, he did a really good job. I was already into the Christmas Carol story.
Yeah.
But I had never seen it never seen it done like that. I was a kid, but still, it was just really high, just praise to the story because they're like telling it in a way where, well, it's like theater style. It's cool.
Yeah.
So if you want to
And
watch
then-
it
yeah.
and you can't find it on Blu-ray, it looks like it is available on Amazon Prime Video.
Oh,
Okay.
And if you don't know who Albert Finney is, he's like the dad in Big Fish. That's
Another
Or
great
he
film,
was
by
in-
the way.
yeah.
Exactly.
Big
Or he was
fish.
in Corpse Bride. He was.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
As Victoria's father.
nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, anyway,
So I
that's
definitely
my-
want to check this out.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Nice.
Cool.
I like it. Is my turn? Yeah, it's my
Yeah,
turn.
yeah, yeah. Number 2.
My number 2. It's so quotable. My kids love it, and every time that they watch it, they have this like laughing fit that we have to pause the movie because they just can't like, when you laugh and like noise doesn't even come out, like it's just like and then
Yeah.
you continue laughing once you catch your breath. That's how they feel whenever they hear Santa. So my number 2 is gonna be Elf.
Elf.
It's a great movie. I think Will Ferrell did a really great job in that one, and it's just I don't know. It's just funny. It's touching. It's a happier. It's the opposite of the Grinch, and yet completely the same in how it
I mean,
makes
yeah,
you
you
feel.
got the Grinch in there. You got the dad's the Grinch.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the Grinch. But yeah, that's a modern classic. Like Noel, that's another like different take on a Christmas story that you didn't see coming, and it's really Will Ferrell in his prime doing all of that stuff, and then all the behind the scenes stuff, how they shot like the him being so big with the elves and everything, the forced perspective and stuff is
Yeah,
fantastic.
so cool.
Like, yeah.
Great stuff. I love it. All right, Mel.
I'm tripping. Did Larry not go yet?
Oh, did we skip
we skip
Larry's
Larry?
number
I think
2?
so.
Sorry, Larry.
Where are we at? It's number 2.
Number
Is
2.
that
So
where
Number
so
2,
for
I'm
Larry's
sorry.
number 2.
I got so excited.
It's crazy you say that. Number 2 is Elf for me too, and this was a battle for my number 1 because I love Elf and he was my number 1. But Rebecca, my wife, let me know what my number 1 is, and it's already been on this list
She
too.
let you know what your number 1 was. You forgot?
No, she made me realize we watched Elf the first time in theaters together, and I thought that was my number 1 for that reason. And she's like, no, you need to think about what movie you quote more when you watch it during Christmas time.
Gotcha.
Like you could do the lines like when you watch Aladdin. Elf is not that, but just like you said, Santa, other lines, 7-inch curls. That's impossible. 7 inches. I love it. And then you don't smell like you sit on a throne of lies.
I hope you find your dad, buddy.
What song did I sing for your birthday? Happy birthday, of course. Dang it. There's so many. And then the New York vibe, again, I talk about that. I'm not a West Coast guy, but it's based out of New York. There's just so many things. Like another part I like is the scene when he says like his dad's on the naughty list and he loses it. And then the dynamic between him and James Caan, like when he's tickling him in the bed, he's like, that's it. Because I've only seen him as like a gangster actor in other movies. And to see him in this other perspective. And I don't know, we just watched that one too. I don't know about you guys, but every time I watch it, it looks disgusting when he's eating the spaghetti.
Yes.
Pop-Tarts. Yeah, I immediately wanted pasta after that. Why? Why am I watching
But
that
did
thing?
you want pasta with maple syrup?
I don't know. That's the thing. But I love every time when I drink soda and I go, brah. Did you hear that? Well, the music soundtrack was awesome.
Yeah, the
too. They did a
soundtrack's
good
great.
job
The soundtrack
on the
is
songs
great.
they picked for that. It was just Jon Favreau doing his magic like he did in Iron Man. Doing his
So
magic.
good, man. Yeah, Son of a Nutcracker and Cotton-Headed Ninny Muggins became
Ninny Muggins.
like
Don't be a
insults in our in like some of our friend groups for quite some time, and I feel like I need to bring that back now.
The Cotton and Ninny Muggins.
Both of them. Huh, okay.
Scruffy-looking Nerf herder.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna bring him back, but anyway, we'll see. All right, Mel. Sorry, dude. I'm sorry, Larry. I was so
totally
excited
worked.
about it.
It's like, I love Elf.
Yeah. All right. Well,
2 that was where it was at. I love
Right
it.
on,
That's
man.
awesome how that worked
right
out.
on.
Yep, exactly. So number 1, and we were talking about mood, right?
That's a drum roll.
So
Yes.
again, another overlapping choice. And I was thinking about my list, and I'm like, you know what? This one spoke a lot more this year because of people, and it's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Nice. Nice.
Any particular version or just every version?
Oh, Jim Carrey's. I
Jim
mean,
Carrey, okay.
Oh, nice.
my
Yep,
other
yep, yep.
list, I remember I said the classic, but I'm like, this time, no. I need the
Yep.
live version because there's a little bit more Grinch that I can relate to. So,
Hate, hate, hate. Hate, hate, hate.
loathe.
Loathe entirely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's it's such a good movie, and I had a hard time putting. I mean, number 3. I mean, all of the ones I listed are basically tied for first, but it's The Grinch is great. It's,
All right, Andrew.
Oh, that's me. My number 1. Larry had it at number 5, I think. Muppets Christmas Carol, my favorite. Number 4. Muppets Christmas Carol, my favorite Christmas movie. It's I love it. The casting of the Muppets are great. You know, the Marley Brothers, Marley and Marley, such a good song.
Yes.
Oh, now I just blanked on the guy that plays Scrooge, Michael
Caine.
Michael Caine. Thank
Yes.
you.
Caine, yeah.
Can't think of
Tangerine.
Anyway, Michael Caine's like perfect casting as Scrooge. He
Yeah.
did such a fantastic job. The songs are great. Yeah, the big giant Muppet, you know, as Christmas present. He's great. Fozziewig, great. That Gonzo as Charles Dickens with Rizzo. It's hilarious.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
You know that. Scrooge turned on every light. How do you know? You know, you can't know that, and the light comes on, and it's great. You know, he gets knocked out off the windowsill and into the snow, and Bean Bunny as the boy, you know, at the end. What day is it? Robin as Tiny Tim, and it's Kermit, Bob Cratchit. I'm gonna list all the characters apparently, but it's great casting. The songs are great.
Yes.
Apparently they're re-releasing Muppets Christmas Carol with the cut song. There's a song that just cut for time because it was just kind of like a sweet song that didn't advance the plot, so they cut it for time. If I remember correctly, it's the song Scrooge's like girlfriend sings in the past scene where he's like, I have to buy you a house before we can get married, and he says something like that. So yeah, I could go on and on about Muppets Christmas Carol, but number one, Muppets Christmas Carol.
It's a great choice, man. Can't go wrong with the Muppets.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you? I think I talked about it an episode or two ago, but where would you? I know that was your number one, but where would you rank the Muppets Christmas: The Letters to Santa?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, it's on Disney Plus. Check it out. Let me know what
I
you
have
think.
to watch it. Yeah, I've not seen a lot of Christmas movies that I should, but yeah,
Same,
it's
dude.
gonna be.
Same.
There was one I was like, there's a Muppet. That's not the one. Nah, hold on. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
Not a big
no.
deal.
But yeah, watch it. It's great.
Okay, so now let's not skip Larry
Nope,
this time.
nope.
Larry.
Number one comes from someone else that already put this on the list. I can't remember where you put it at, Andrew, but number one for me, like I said, Rebecca may realize, is Santa Claus 1.
Mhm.
Tim Allen, the jokes, the soundtrack. I mean, I can't ever get over this. There's things like I just quote in that movie. I think it's because I watched as a kid, and I did get the VHS when it came out, and I watched that over and over it's just, like I said, the music, what you have in the jokes. There's things I quote in there like, listen, Barnaby, I just want to go home. I tell Rebecca that all the time. Like, that's a quote he tells when he's stuck in the North Pole. Also, this thing's been to 1,000 malls when he's talking about the clothes. It looks like we're going to get the Disney Channel when he when he talks about the reindeers on the roof. Oh, man, it's the rose such a ladder.
Rose such a
that is like those things. It's a ladder. No, it's a sound. Like, there's so many things. When we talk about the elf, the shaken not stirred hot chocolate recipe, that always makes me want hot chocolate when I watch that. By the way, there's just so many things. Scott Calvin,
500 years to perfect it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow, you look pretty good for your age. I'm seeing someone in rapping. See, it's like that stuff. I just I've really gravitated. I think Tim Allen being on Home Improvement and all that, that kind of helps, right? And it's pretty much Tim Allen as his own self, but he has to be Santa Claus. And they did do a good transformation. And his scream, I never get over it when his hair grows back.
Oh,
after
yeah,
just
when he
shaved.
shaves it.
And it's, and it like grows right back.
I would say,
like,
Topo Shisho.
okay, Scott. We'll try this again. Oh my God, there's just so much from that movie, and it does give me, every time I watch it, I do get the warm, fuzzy feels every time, and I don't know what it is. I think it's that being that weird, like if Santa is like this genuine person, like it could be anybody. It just matters if you put on the suit. And there's always that scene. I don't know about you guys. If when you watch it and he says, well, I think I can't think of his name right now, but the main elf tells everyone, well, that would disappoint so many kids in the world if you didn't do, what did he Santa? It's just like
Bernard?
this moment of
Are you talking about
silence.
Bernard? Is that what
Bernard.
you're
He
talking about?
calls him out on the clause, which is a great thing. Come on,
Yeah.
who wrote that? The clause is the actual writing
around the
contract
card,
you put on
yeah.
the suit. And he's just this moment with the elves, and it gets quiet, and it like brings that whole thing of Christmas back for me when it's like that would ruin the spirit for everybody, kind of like what Heyzen said earlier, like we're just trying to share the spirit with everybody. That part of the movie always gets me like a little bit like, oh, that is sad.
They should have just told him like Scott, you're being a real Neil right now.
Yes, Neil. Oh my God, these lines they say, I think you're in your fanization, or like they'll say these heavy philosophy, or the it's like when they fight, when Tim Allen's making fun of them.
A
Oh my
weenie
God,
whistle.
Yeah. That is. There's so much in that movie, though. Like I said, I could go on for days, but that's my number one. That's for sure something I pop in every Christmas time to watch.
Right on, man. Yeah, dude. I love that film for everything that you said, everything that Andrew said. There's so much about that film that I love. So for my number one, I guess with all that said, I'm going to have to say Iron Man 3. I'm kidding. No, it's
There's
not
a
even.
Christmas tree in it.
There's a Christmas tree in it. It counts. So, no, it
Oh,
can't be
boy.
Iron Man 3. So I'm going to go with Rocky 4 because that takes. No, I'm kidding.
Ghostbusters 2.
No, I'm going to go with Jurassic World. I'm kidding. I can
nice.
do this all
Killing
night.
me. Killing me.
No,
Gremlins.
my number one is actually the same. It's actually the Santa Claus as well. And the reason it's number one for me is it probably wouldn't have been my number one, if we had this conversation, a decade ago. But it's my wife's favorite Christmas movie. And because we watch it every holiday season, it's now become one of my favorites, because every time I watch it with her, like, it brings her so much joy that now it brings me joy, and the kids loved it the last time that we watched it. Like, we saw it last weekend, and, like, the kids loved it as well. So, again, for everything that you said, both of you said, I put the Santa Claus at the very top of my list as well.
Seeing isn't believing. Believing is
Right.
seeing.
I agree.
One of the best
Yeah.
quotes. Dang it, Judy. We're at Denny's.
So yeah, that's it, man. There was so many things that I feel like I wanted to put on here. Things that I feel like this year we've been watching way more Christmas things than we have in the past because so many more are available to us. We saw Jingle All the Way a week or so ago, and would you believe I had never seen that film?
What?
Yeah, I had never seen Jingle
Wow.
All the Way. And I remember thinking about it like, man, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, what is Christmas about Arnold Schwarzenegger? And then I saw the whole film. I was like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, you go. Yes. You do that for your kid, man. You did good.
Tom Arnold. Come on. It's just good comedy. I'm eating your wife's cookies right now. Stop eating my wife's cookies now.
So, yeah, I mean, it was there. It was so good. And then I just had so much trouble trying to figure out, like, what direction I wanted to take it. Like, Home Alone was definitely on my list. It was definitely in the top 10. Duck the Halls, the Mickey Mouse Christmas special that I talked recently about, that's definitely in my top 10 because I just think it's a really great story about Donald wanting to celebrate Christmas. On the comedy side, I had, like, Office Christmas. Jingle All the Way was obviously on there. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was on there.
Oh,
I
That's a tough
classic.
one.
other
That was
day.
off my
Yeah.
list.
Ooh.
That was
Oh,
tough.
you know which one was really good that we saw? That it was with Kurt Russell on Netflix. The Christmas Chronicles.
the
Of
Net-
the
The
Christmas.
Chronicles.
That
Yeah,
was-
they did a good job
that
with that.
was good, man. I wasn't expecting to enjoy that film as much as I did.
Same.
But the story that they told with that version of Santa and like what he had to go through and everything. If you haven't seen it, it's a pretty good film, man. I enjoyed that one a lot
worth
too.
it.
Yeah.
It's worth
Yeah.
it.
Any films that you want to throw out as honorable mentions before we wrap up for today?
On my other 5 on my list were Frosty the Snowman, the classic
Classic.
Frosty the Snowman, just happy birthday, and I love that Frosty the Snowman.
I don't like crying at that time. Please, actually, every time.
I just like the guy when he goes messy, messy, messy. I quote that all the time. Anytime there's a mess, I say messy, messy, messy. Also the Rankin Bass, The Year Without a Santa Claus with the Winter Warlock and the Burgermeister Burger and stuff. And yeah, Young Santa where he's like a redhead and stuff. Yeah, I like no, I said the wrong thing. Not Year Without a Santa Claus. I wrote it down wrong. That's Santa Claus is Coming to Town. That's the one I like.
That's the
Year
one.
Without a Santa Claus is the one with the heat miser, snow miser, and
There you go.
then the elves are just like going around a town. What else is on here? Batman Returns, Ghostbusters
I
2.
agree.
And then
Dark explosions.
yeah,
Yep.
and then
Yeah.
there's a movie that I watched as a kid that I had to look up again because I was like, I remember this movie about a cow. And it was like a Christmas cow movie, and I couldn't remember what it was. It's called I looked up. It's called Annabelle's Wish, and it's like a direct-to-video movie. And there's like a cow and like I think it's like a deaf kid, and then Annabelle is the cow, and she like wishes to Santa that the kid can hear. And yeah, so it's like a very like touching and moving
Aw.
like kids
this
animated
is right up
Christmas
my alley.
movie.
1997.
So yeah, that's another on my honorable mentions list. That was my number 6.
That sounds so familiar, dude.
Yeah, it's one I was like, all I remember is there's a cow and it's Christmas. And so I had to look it up again. I was like, oh yeah, they're like all started coming back. It's one of those ones that's like just like direct to video or something, or it might have been on like TV special.
I feel like we ended up buying it at like Target or Kmart for like $5 or something like that.
Big
Wasn't
bin
like
of movies,
Randy
yeah.
Travis or something the narrator or something?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, he has such a great voice, Randy Travis. Like it's a good, just like a good carry point through the movie.
I want to say that the animation style felt very Land Before Time.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of that. It's like a 2D, Annabelle.
It looks like it. It looks cute. It looks familiar. That's what it is. It looks familiar.
Ah. Sorry for the scream. I looked up something and I got an ad. That scared me.
Your beard must have just
They
grown
did their
back.
job.
Well, Neil's head comes to a point, so. Anyway, I'm just trying to think of other Santa Claus quotes.
Well, sorry that Home Sweet Home Alone didn't make it on the list this year. And we know that we said this was a holiday list. Obviously, we celebrate Christmas, and because of that, there's a lot of very Christmas-oriented films on here. So we're not very familiar with a lot of Hanukkah films that we watch on a yearly basis, but obviously 8 Crazy Nights is a fantastic Hanukkah film. If
I just heard about that. I've never seen it, and a guy I was working with was like, "Have you seen 8 Crazy Nights?" And I was like, "No,
dude, it's funny.
And
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
I was like, Adam Sandler does 3 voices in it. And,
yeah, okay.
he's like the like old lady, the old man, and yeah. So I watched whatever the song where the old man's singing to him about. I forget what it is. It's like a little catchphrase he has.
Yeah.
But that was funny. Anyway.
So that's definitely a really great one to watch. An American Tail is, I think, technically a Hanukkah film. I don't think it's a Christmas film. So, I mean, I'm not very familiar with Hanukkah, but if there's any that you'd like to comment that some of our other listeners might be able to enjoy, if you're familiar with any, please feel free to join the conversation over on Facebook and Instagram or Twitter. Just search for Podketeers. Look for the post for this episode. It's episode 391. If there's any other Christmas films as well that you would like to recommend that we watch that you think should be on our list, or you just want to share with the rest of the group, you can join us on any of those social networks, or you can also continue the conversation over on our Discord server. If you are not yet a member, it's super easy to become a member. All you have to do is head over to the blog post for this episode, podketeers.com/391. Click on the Discord button that you see to join. You'll get the instant invite. Click on it, and you'll be a member with just a few clicks. So that's it. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.
Christmas time is here. Andrew hates the next verse, but he'll have to go through it.
Part of the Podketeers Network.